1 year of the PlayStation VR 2, right? 1 year of the PlayStation VR 2. This is my little PlayStation VR setup, okay? I know it's not maybe the best setup, but that's my setup. And what are my thoughts after 1 year of playing the PlayStation VR 2? Well, I haven't been playing it for a year. I've been playing it for like a month because I just got it for a month, and it is spectacular. I gotta say, one thing I did notice about the PlayStation VR 2, something that was missing from the PlayStation VR 2 than the PlayStation VR 1 had, was like a little demo disc. The PlayStation VR 2 didn't have a little demo disc. And the thing is, this little demo disc had like these mini games, like you're in a Shark Tank. Like it brought these mini things that were like mini games that you didn't see in the other titles. Like you're in a Shark Tank, right, with a shark coming at you, and they had a couple of other ones, but this is a little something that I wish the PSVR 2 came with. Is like a little demo disc thing. Now, some of my favorite PlayStation VR 1 games that I wish would come to the PlayStation VR 2, and maybe that's going to change now that the PlayStation VR 2 is getting PC support, are games like Star Wars Squadrons and Hitman 3. I really want Hitman 3, Star Wars Squadrons, a new Ace Combat that's all in VR. We need like Ace Combat 8 just for the PlayStation VR 2, okay? Because we really need the flight sim that's only for a couple of levels in VR in this Ace Combat 7 is incredible. So that's just with the PSVR 1. Now with the PSVR 2, we did see some games get support for the PlayStation VR 2. Like this one had like a $5 upgrade, and you get the game on your PSVR 2, the updated, completed version of the game. And I really hope that the Iron Man VR comes to PlayStation VR 2. I haven't played Republic, haven't played this game, but this game was made by the people who made the Iron Man 1, the Iron Man VR. And this is one of the reasons why I picked this one up, because it's an original story about a woman with powers. She has like telepathic powers. She's being held in like a base, you know, like in a base of people, a government base where they're testing on her, like Weapon X style. And then the other game that's dated, right, that is Firewall Zero Hour. Now, they came out with a Firewall Zero Hour called Firewall Ultra for PSVR 2. Don't get it because it doesn't work. It's super glitchy, and nobody's playing it on the PSVR 2. PSVR 2 has a lot better shooters than Firewall. Okay, so maybe this was a game that I would have recommended to you 6 months ago, a year ago, but in my opinion, it's completely dead. And what made this game so unique was that after you died, you can look at the different cameras on the map and warn your friends where the enemy was. And it utilized it still utilizes, you could still play this game, the first one, there's still people playing it. The new one on PSVR 2, nobody's playing it, and you can't find a match on it. So if you had to buy one on discount, I guess buy this, but there's no story or anything. And in my opinion, Alvo is a much better shooter on PSVR 1. Okay, and this was supposed to be a PSVR2 video, but I'm trying to show you guys the evolution here of how I basically went through an evolution of PSVR1, and now the PSVR2 is finally here. And in my opinion, the PSVR2 is not better yet. Well, it's already better, right? Because it has a bunch of updated, the 3D effects. It's better, but it needed more games. Right? The PSVR 2, even though I think it's worth it now just to get it, but just the fact that they're adding PC support to the PlayStation VR 2 is incredible. And these controllers for your hand are a lot better than the motion controllers, which were from the PS3 era. So we desperately needed an update on the motion controllers. The fact that the PSVR 2 has eye tracking is huge. The eye tracking is huge because the PSVR 1 utilized that camera up there. And what I like is PlayStation, you could still utilize that camera for the PSVR 2. So I like that about it. And what can I say about the PlayStation VR 2? After playing it, after playing Creed, I've played Creed on this. My favorite games on it are No Man's Sky, of course, and Breachers. And if you thought No Man's Sky looked great on your PS4 Pro or on your PlayStation VR, or you used to say, oh, it looks so much sharper when you're not using the PlayStation VR 1. Let me tell you, you hook up your PlayStation VR 1 to the PS5, right? Instead of the PlayStation 4 Pro, you hook up your PSVR 1 to the PlayStation 5, that shit looks a lot better. Like a lot better. But when you're playing the PSVR 2, you notice the difference, man. You notice the difference. The PSVR 2, we needed this. What's my review on the PSVR 2? Buy it. Buy it as soon as you can. Sony right now is supporting the PlayStation VR 2. Show them that you want this. I'm going to tell you something. You get a PlayStation VR 2, it's going to be really hard for you to play normal, flat games. Okay? So my review, get it. Super happy with it. Right? 2024. And I think it came out, we're in the 1-year anniversary of it, but I just got it. So Sony, even though it's the 1-year anniversary, there's people thinking about getting it, and there's people who are just getting it, and there's people who are about to get it. Okay? So just know that Sony's VR is supported. It's being supported. And let's say that Sony backs out of this whole PC VR thing. You still have great games, like the Resident Evil games in VR are AAA. It's worth getting the PlayStation VR just for some of these games like Creed. There were other games that got No Man's Sky, just for No Man's Sky, I mean. So I can't recommend it enough. And it looks like it's going to be the best VR thing on the market pretty soon. Because the Oculus doesn't have the 3D sound that Sony is putting in to their headset. So that's my opinion on the PlayStation VR 2. Huge improvement from the PlayStation VR 1. If you had to get a virtual reality system, you should get the PlayStation VR 2 because the PlayStation VR 2 is what has the blockbuster games, right? You want those blockbuster games, right? So What's the first blockbuster game you should get on the PlayStation VR 2? Breachers. Breachers.